everyone, this is Libby from Fيجن. Welcome to CGSA Access Control Training. Today we're going to introduce access control system and the functions. There are two chapters for this course. The first chapter is to introduce access control system, and the second chapter is to introduce the typical advanced features. In order to know access control system, we have to take a look at the components included in the access control system. Control unit refers to an access control panel, also called controller, a reading unit such as card reader or all-in-one controller, installed near the entry. In cases where the exit is also controlled, a second reader could be used on the opposite side of the entry. A credential is a physical or tangible object, a piece of knowledge, or a facet of a person's physical being that enables individual access to a given physical facility. Typically, credentials can be card, face recognition, fingerprint, passcode, and mobile devices. Operating unit is actually locking hardware, such as electrical door straps and electromagnetic locks. And the management could be software to manage the access control system. And one more thing is request to exit or RTE devices for allowing exit, although it's not listed right here. Now let's talk about the system topology of access control. There are actually two working logics. The one is to use controller. The other one is to use all-in-one controller or standalone terminal called by some manufacturers. But both of the logics work the same. Access control decisions are made by comparing the credentials to an access control list. So the first thing to do is to create profiles with different credentials in the software and assign access levels accordingly. When a credential is presented to a reader, the reader sends the credential information to a control panel. The control panel compares the credential information to an access control list, grants or denies the presented request, and sends a transaction log to a database. When access is denied based on the access control list, the door terminals remains locked. If there is a match between the credential and the access control list, the control panel operates a relay that in return unlocks the door. Next, we will introduce serial controller, which is different than the system topology with one controller. In the access control system using serial controllers, all door hardware is connected to subcontrollers, such as locks, exit buttons, and readers. Subcontrollers usually do not make access decisions and instead forward all requests to the main controllers. The serial controllers make workload on the host PC significantly reduced because it only needs to communicate with a few main controllers. And RS-485 standards allows long cable runs. Those are the advantages of serial controllers. We actually already mentioned all-in-one controller or standalone terminal multiple times, but I believe some of you are not still very clear about it. So let's explain that further. All-in-one controller is integrated with diverse identifications such as card, passcode, fingerprint, and the facial recognition. In other words, it doesn't require the extended readers to collect the credentials. Compared with multi-door controller, it only controls single one door. More importantly, all-in-one controllers is equipped with a secure module. That is, when the all-in-one terminal is destroyed, the secure module can power the system to make the door remain closed for security reasons. After talking about controllers, we will move on to the readers. Access control readers could be classified by the functions they are able to perform. Basic readers simply read card or PIN number and forward it to a control panel, while some readers supporting biometric technologies include fingerprint, facial recognition, iris recognition, and etc. Communication protocol. Typically, weekend protocol is used for transmitting data to the control panel. This is the most popular type of access control radars. Weekend protocol is an internationally unified standard. It has many formats, and the standard 26-bit should be the most commonly used. The Open Supervised Device Protocol, known as OSDP, has high security and can achieve secure communication between devices from different manufacturers under the OSDP protocol. OSDP and Weekend are the technologies used to link access control systems together. While Weekend radars are one-way communication devices, OSDP radars offer two-way communication. In other words, OSDP radars can send and receive communication from the controller. RS-485 is a standard that defines the electrical characteristics of drivers and receivers in balanced digital multi-point systems. Digital communication networks using the standard can effectively transmit signals over long distance and environments with high electronic noise. RS-485 makes it possible to connect to local networks as well as configure multi-branch communication links. Types of a credential. Card is actually one of the credentials. So let's talk about the types of cards at first. The full name of ID card is Identification Card, and it is customarily called EM card and a common radio frequency card. The simplest and most common radio frequency card is a low-frequency 125 kHz ID card. ID card needs to be connected and used can be copied at will, and it receives radio frequency energy from the card reader, generates power and clock for the chip, and uses wireless communication technology to achieve wireless communication between card and the reader. Low cost is an advantage for ID card. The full name of IC card is Integrated Circuit Card, also known as Smart Card, working at 13.56 MHz frequency. The chips are all sealed in the card base without exposed parts. Information is exchanged through the induction of radio waves of electromagnetic fields. Large capacity encryption, data record, reliable and more convenient to use are the features for IC card, including MyFair card series. Generally, ID and IC cards are passive cards without built-in batteries. Besides some general credentials like card, there are also biometric credentials commonly used in access control system. In some scenarios with high security requested, technology including fingerprint, facial recognition, finger vein recognition, and iris scanning are all common examples of biometric access control. Biometrics can also be used as a form of a two-factor authentication, requiring users to present a key card, fob, or mobile credential, as well as complete a biometric scan in order to unlock the door. The extended mobile credentials, meaning a user's mobile device is their key. Usually app-based, mobile credentials allow users to unlock the door by tapping the button inside the app and often support additional access methods. Mobile access control system, which uses Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, cellular data, and the newer technology, near-field communication, also known as NFC, has the ability to support touchless and proximity-based unlocking. NFC is a short-range, high-frequency wireless communication technology that allows contactless point-to-point data transmission between electronic devices. Touchless Bluetooth access control credentials work by establishing a connection between the user's device and the access control reader via Bluetooth. When a user approaches a door or gate, the access control reader sends a Bluetooth signal to the user's device. The user's device then responds with an encrypted signal that is verified by the access control reader. If the signal is authenticated, the access control reader unlocks the door. Well, this slide shows us the operating unit in an access control system, which is electrical lock. The most basic type of electronic lock is a magnetic lock, or called as mag lock. A large electromagnetic lock is mounted on the door frame, and a corresponding armature is mounted on the door when the magnet is powered and the door is closed. Mag locks are simple to install and are very attack resistant. Those are often capable of holding the door closed with hundreds of pounds of holding strength. The magnetic lock is suitable for both in-swing and out-swing doors. The magnetic lock should be always installed on the secure side of the door, but mag locks require a constant power source in order to be secure. Most magnetic locks will be fail-safe, meaning that when power is applied, the unit is locked. When power is lost, the unit will be left unlocked and unsecured. This can be risky if the magnetic lock is the only unit holding the door close to the secure. Electronic bolt lock locks or opens a door using an electrical current. Depending on the design, an electric bolt door uses a numerical code, a security token, biometrics, or a password to active or deactivate the lock. The general cassette lock is a type that opens the door with electricity, suitable for one-way door open. The installation of the cassette lock must be equipped with UPS power supply, because the female lock would lock the door during a power outage. The cassette lock can be widely used in office buildings, wooden doors, stainless steel doors, fire doors, community entrance and exit gates. Another lock is a power-off door opening type. In line with fire protection requirements, it is installed on the upper part of the door frame. Different from the electromagnetic lock, the anode lock is suitable for two-way wooden doors, glass doors, and fire doors. It has a door magnetic detector itself, which can detect the security status of the door at any time. The working principle of the cassette lock is similar to that of the anode lock.